Hey everyone, welcome back. We're going deep on Archer Aviation today and whether their stock is a good investment or not.
Yeah, what's really interesting about Archer is they aren't just building these flying cars, right? Like they're aiming to create entire air taxi networks.
Whoa, so like a whole new transportation system?
Yeah. Think ride sharing, but in the sky. And, they're developing what are called eVTOLs, electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft.
Okay, eVTOLs, got it.
Yeah, and so, why should we care, right? What problem are they trying to solve? Well, imagine this. You're stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic, just totally gridlocked, right?
Ugh, the worst.
Yeah, and it's just a minute after minute inching closer to your destination. And now multiply that feeling by billions because globally, people waste over 100 billion hours every year just sitting in traffic.
100 billion, that's insane. And, that's a ton of wasted time and lost productivity, right?
Exactly. And that's what Archer is trying to tackle.
I could definitely see why investors are excited about a company trying to solve that, for sure. And Archer's initial focus is on providing these point-to-point travel options in really wealthy, congested cities.
Oh, okay, so I'm picturing a 10-minute flight from Manhattan to Newark Airport instead of that horrible hour-long car ride.
Exactly.
Man, that would be awesome, especially for business travelers or anyone on a tight schedule.
Totally.
But wouldn't that be super expensive, though? I mean, it sounds like a service only for the ultra-wealthy, like something out of a movie.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Initially, it will definitely be a luxury service, more expensive than a car ride, but cheaper than a helicopter.
Yeah.
So you can think of it as kind of like democratizing a mode of transportation that was previously only accessible to a select few.
Okay, so not totally replacing cars, but creating a new tier of transportation for a specific market.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. But how does this play into their stock valuation, though? Because we know that their stock has surged recently, and the article mentions a $4 billion market cap. So how can a company with no revenue justify that kind of valuation?
Yeah, that's where things get really interesting and potentially risky. That $4 billion valuation is based largely on future potential, not current performance. And a big part of that potential is tied to their order book, which is a whopping $6 billion worth of commitments from airlines and cities.
Whoa, okay, hold on. An order book. Can you break that down for me? And anyone who's not familiar with the term, what exactly does that mean?
Of course. So an order book essentially represents future demand. It's a list of commitments from customers, in this case airlines and cities, to purchase Archer's air taxis once they're available.
Oh, I see. So even though they haven't generated any revenue yet, this order book suggests that there's a lot of interest in their product.
Exactly.
Interesting. So those commitments are basically saying, hey, we like what we see and we're willing to put money down to reserve our spot in line. But are those commitments set in stone? Can they back out if things don't go as planned?
That's a really important question. While these commitments show strong interest, it's key to note that they're not legally binding contracts. Some of these commitments might depend on Archer hitting certain milestones, like getting regulatory approval or proving their aircraft is safe and reliable.
Okay, so a vote of confidence, but with some conditions?
Yeah, you could say that.
So we have this potentially huge market, a futuristic technology, and a pretty impressive order book. But at the same time, there's a company burning through cash with no revenue and a stock price that seems to be based on a lot of ifs.
Yeah, exactly.
And we haven't even talked about the competition in this space?
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. There are at least 8 other publicly traded eVTOL companies, plus countless private ones, all vying for a piece of this potentially massive market.
So it's not just about whether Archer can overcome the technological and regulatory hurdles, but also if they can beat out their rivals.
For sure.
This is starting to sound like a really high-stakes race.
Yeah, and understanding that competitive landscape is key for any potential investor.
Okay, so for example?
So Joby Aviation is another major player with a similar approach targeting urban air mobility, and they already have a partnership with Delta Airlines.
Oh, wow, Delta. That's huge.
Yeah.
So we're talking about major players entering this market and partnering with these startups.
Absolutely.
This is a lot more complex than I initially thought.
It definitely adds another layer of complexity, and it shows how Archer isn't operating in a vacuum. They need to set themselves apart, not just through tech, but through those strategic partnerships, branding, and their ability to actually execute their vision.
This is fascinating. I mean, we've got this exciting vision of the future, a company with a bold plan, but also a lot of unknowns and risks.
For sure.
And we're just getting started.
Yeah. So maybe we can start by digging deeper into the technology behind eVTOLs. and explore like the financial realities of this industry. Because to really understand the investment potential of Archer, we need to look beyond the hype and get into the nitty-gritty details.
All right, let's do it. But first, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll explore the tech behind eVTOLs, the regulatory hurdles they face, and whether their finances justify their current stock price. Stay tuned. Okay, so let's talk about the technology behind these eVTOLs. What makes these things tick? Are we talking massive batteries, futuristic propellers, or some kind of like anti-gravity device?
Well, anti-gravity would be pretty revolutionary.
Yeah.
But eVTOLs actually rely on more down-to-earth tech. They're basically electric aircraft with multiple rotors that allow for vertical takeoff and landing. So no need for those traditional runways.
So no massive runways needed. That's a big plus for cities, right?
Exactly, especially in those densely populated urban areas.
Okay, but what about range? Like, how far can these things fly on a single charge? Can they go long distances, or are we just talking short trips within a city?
That's an important point. Most eVTOLs, including Archers, are designed for shorter flights, typically within like a 50-mile radius. Think connecting key points within a metro area like airports, business districts, or tourist spots.
Okay, so not cross-country flights just yet.
Not yet. But the technology is constantly evolving.
Makes sense. So what about those batteries, though? Are they like the ones in our electric cars, or is there some crazy next-level battery tech we don't know about?
They do use advanced lithium-ion batteries similar to those in high-performance EVs. But the challenge is packing enough energy into a battery pack that's lightweight and powerful enough to lift and sustain flight.
I see. So it's about finding that balance between weight, power, and range.
Yeah, exactly. It's a tricky equation.
For sure. And what about charging these things? Do they just plug into a giant wall outlet, or are there special charging stations for eVTOLs?
Yeah, that's another piece of the puzzle. Archer and other companies are working on developing specialized charging infrastructure that can rapidly recharge these aircraft to minimize downtime.
Okay, so basically keeping those air taxis in the air as much as possible.
Exactly. It's all about efficiency.
So we've got the aircraft, the batteries, the charging infrastructure. It seems like a whole ecosystem is being built around these eVTOLs.
You got it. And that's what makes investing in this sector so complex. It's not just the aircraft itself, it's the whole ecosystem that supports it.
Right. It's like investing in the whole future of transportation.
Yeah, in a way.
Okay, so let's shift gears and talk about the financials. We touched on Archer's $4 billion market cap and their ambitious order book, but they're currently burning through cash with no revenue. How long can they keep this up before investors get nervous?
That's the million-dollar question.
What?
Last year, they spent $415 million on R&D testing and building up their manufacturing. And those expenses are probably going to continue or even increase as they get closer to actually selling these things.
So they're making a huge bet that their investments today will pay off big time once those air taxis hit the market.
Exactly.
But what if those revenues don't come as quickly as they're hoping, or the market isn't as big as they're predicting?
Well, that's the risk with any startup, especially in such a new industry. And that's why investors are keeping a close eye on their financials. They need to see a clear path to profitability. A plan for how they'll generate enough revenue to cover their expenses and actually make money for their investors.
Makes sense. And that path to profitability hinges on selling those air taxis, right? They're aiming to sell them for around $5 million each. But even if they sell 100 a year, that's only $500 million in revenue.
Yeah, you're doing the math, which is exactly what investors are doing. And here's the thing. The profit margins in the aerospace industry, especially for manufacturers, are typically pretty low. So even with a lot of sales, their profit margins could be slim.
So even if they sell those $5 million air taxis, they might not be making much on each sale.
Right. And that's a critical detail that a lot of investors might be missing.
It seems like a red flag to me. A company with a multi-billion-dollar valuation, a technology that's still in its early stages, massive upfront investments, and potentially small profits.
It's definitely something to be cautious about. And that's why this article is raising some concerns about Archer's valuation. They're saying the stock price is driven more by hype and speculation than solid fundamentals.
So it's like people are getting caught up in the futuristic idea without really understanding the business side of things.
Yeah, kind of like that.
But we can't ignore the fact that Archer does have some powerful partners. We talked about Stellantis earlier. How much of a difference does that partnership make?
Yeah, the Stellantis partnership is huge. They're a major automotive manufacturer, and they're bringing a lot to the table. Not just money, but manufacturing expertise, resources, and a global supply chain. This could really help Archer scale up production and bring down costs, which is key for making a profit.
Okay, so Stellantis brings experience and know-how to the table.
Exactly.
But even with this partnership, there are still a lot of hurdles to clear. We haven't even talked about the regulatory side of things, which I imagine is a huge challenge for this type of transportation.
Yeah, you're right. The regulatory landscape is a
Yeah.
major factor, and it's something we need to dig into. Because even if Archer nails the technology, builds out the infrastructure, and gets customers, they still need the okay from aviation authorities to actually operate these air taxis.
All right, so let's talk regulations. What kind of approvals does Archer need, and how hard is it going to be to get them?
So in the U.S., the Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, is in charge of regulating all civil aviation, including these eVTOLs. Archer needs to get something called a type certificate for their aircraft, which basically certifies that it meets the FAA's strict safety and design standards.
So it's not just about building something that flies, it's about proving that it's safe and meets all the regulations.
Right.
And I imagine that's a pretty long and difficult process.
It is. The FAA certification process is known for being very thorough and complex. It involves tons of testing, documentation, and analysis to make sure the aircraft meets the highest safety standards. And it's not just a one-time thing either. Archer will need separate approvals for their manufacturing processes, their pilot training programs, and their operational procedures.
Whoa, that's a lot of hoops to jump through.
Yeah, it does a lot.
It sounds like getting through all the regulations is just as hard as developing the technology itself. And what about public opinion? Are people ready to see air taxis flying around, or are there concerns about noise, safety, and privacy?
Yeah, that's another important thing to think about. Public perception will be huge in determining whether eVTOLs take off. Archer and other companies need to address concerns about noise pollution safety protocols and how these aircraft will impact city skylines.
So it's not just about the tech, it's about how people feel about it too.
Absolutely. It's a social factor that can't be ignored.
This is all so interesting. It seems like every time we dig deeper into this industry, we uncover even more complexities.
Yeah, that's the nature of innovation, right? It's about venturing into uncharted territory, navigating uncertainty, and constantly adapting.
And for investors, it's about carefully weighing the potential rewards against the risks.
Exactly. You got to have a balanced perspective.
Okay, so we've talked about the technology, the financials, the competition, the regulations, and even public perception. But the big question is still out there. Is Archer Aviation a good investment? Is their stock overvalued, like the article says, or are they ready to take off?
That's the question we'll tackle in the last part of our deep dive.
Yeah.
We'll look closely at the article's analysis of Archer's stock, weigh the pros and cons of investing in this company, and leave you with some key things to consider as you make your own investment decisions.
Okay, so we've explored a lot: the technology, the financials, competition, regulations, everything. But the big question is still, is Archer Aviation a smart investment right now?
Well, the article we've been looking at says that even with all the hype, Archer's valuation seems kind of out of touch with where they are financially. There's still pre-revenue burning cash and facing tough competition.
Yeah, that disconnect between the hype and reality really stood out to me too. But before we make any judgments, let's go through the article's analysis. What are the key points they're making?
Well, the main thing is that Archer's $4 billion valuation basically depends on them being super successful in the future. Investors are betting on them overcoming all those hurdles we talked about, the tech challenges, regulations, getting people to use their service.
So it's all about potential, not what they're actually doing right now.
Right, and potential doesn't always turn into profits, especially in an industry like this that takes so much money to get going.
Yeah, that's a good point. We talked about how even if they sell a ton of air taxis, the profit margins might not be that great. How does the article address that?
They look at how much it costs to actually make an eVTOL, all the expensive parts like batteries, motors, lightweight materials, and they suggest that those costs could make it really hard for Archer to make enough profit to justify their current valuation.
So they might sell those $5 million air taxis, but not actually make that much from each sale.
Exactly. And the article says that a more realistic valuation should take those costs into account, plus the competition and all the uncertainty around regulations. They think investors are getting a little carried away with the excitement of this new tech without really thinking about the financial side of things.
It's like being blinded by the shiny new thing without thinking about the practicalities.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So while the article sees potential in eVTOLs, they're saying investors should be careful about Archer. Wait for more proof that they're on the right track before investing.
Right, don't just buy into the hype. Look for actual evidence that they can pull this off.
So what are some signs that investors should be watching for? What are those milestones that would show Archer is making real progress?
The article mentions a few key things. First, getting those regulatory approvals from the FAA. That would prove that their aircraft is safe and meets all the standards. It's a big step in reducing risk for investors.
Yeah, without those approvals, they can't even take off. What else?
Second, successful test flights. They need to show that the technology works reliably in real-world conditions, not just in a lab.
Right. It's one thing to have a cool prototype, but it's got to actually work out there in the real world.
Exactly. Then there's production. Can Archer scale up their manufacturing to build these complex aircraft at a reasonable cost? Any news about their progress on that front would be a good sign.
So they can't just build one or two. They need to show they can mass produce these things to meet the demand.
Right. And maybe most importantly, they need to turn those commitments in their order book into actual orders with customers putting down money. That's when they'll start generating real revenue.
So it all comes down to execution. They've got the vision now. They need to show they can make it happen.
Exactly. And as investors, we need to be patient and look for those concrete signs of progress.
Great advice. The eVTOL market has huge potential, but it's still early days. Investing in a company like Archer means balancing the excitement of this potentially game-changing technology with a realistic understanding of the risks.
Yeah, you got to have both the excitement and the cautiousness.
So for our listeners who might be thinking about investing in Archer, what's the takeaway message?
Don't get caught up in the hype. Do your own research, really think about what the article says, and keep an eye on those key milestones we talked about. The potential is there, but investing now comes with a lot of risk.
Great advice. It's been a really fascinating look into the world of electric air taxis and the challenges of investing in such a new technology. We've covered so much from the technical side to the financial side, the competition and the regulations. Keep learning about this space, stay informed, and make investment decisions that make sense for you. Until next time, happy flying, everyone.